Rejection is inevitable in life. Whether we like it or not, we will face it at least once. But the most important thing is not that you are rejected, but how you choose to move forward. Rejection can be a deep wound. It makes us hurt, doubt ourselves, and sometimes make us want to give up. However, whether we like it or not, we cannot stop it from happening. And in that moment, the power lies not in avoiding or resenting it, but in how you create the motivation to continue the journey. Regardless of whether you encounter rejection in love, work, or any other field, the painful feeling is the same. But if we look at it through the lens of Stoic philosophy, rejection is not the end, but an opportunity to learn, grow, and move forward. What matters is that you have the courage to face it, accept it as a part of life, and not let it defeat you. Sure, it's easier said than done. However, if you want to overcome rejection and stay motivated, you need to understand that rejection can be a tool for self-improvement. Marcus Aurelius, one of the great Stoics, taught, "Everything happens for a reason, and you can choose how you respond to it." Imagine a world where rejection doesn't drag you down, but instead motivates you to rise. Rejection is no longer painful, but a stepping stone to greater things. We can't control the universe, but we can choose how we respond to it. So if you feel overlooked, or undervalued, remember that it's time to turn things around. In this video, we explore 10 lessons from rejection, practical strategies you can immediately apply in your life to turn painful moments into great opportunities. Remember, this is not just theory. This is the path to actually turning rejection into your own victory. Before we get started, don't forget to like and notification bell so that more people can get this wisdom. Now join me on this transformation journey and learn how to turn rejection into powerful motivation. 1. Learn to accept thanks but no. In life, rejection is inevitable, but it is precisely that rejection that opens up opportunities for us to grow and discover ourselves. Learning to accept thanks but no is not easy, but it is the most important first step in the journey of self-development. This is an opportunity for us to challenge deeply ingrained beliefs, and sometimes from there, a stronger and more confident version of ourselves will gradually emerge. As a Stoic philosopher once said, "Life is not what happens to you, but how you react to what happens." Accepting rejection is not an easy task, but it teaches us to be resilient in the face of difficulties, instead of letting those rejections push us into disappointment. Think of someone who has achieved great success in life like Steve Jobs. He was fired from the company he founded, but it was that rejection that helped him reforge his vision and determination, leading to great strides in his career. If Jobs had given up in the face of rejection, we would never have known Apple as it is today. Rejection, therefore, is not an end, but an invitation to continue to seek your own path. Every time we are not chosen, every time we are rejected, is an opportunity for us to go deeper into ourselves and find out what is truly important. We are not actors simply playing roles in plays written by others. Sometimes the roles we are not chosen for are the turning points for us to realize our true selves. This does not mean that we have to accept every rejection unconditionally, but instead of letting those rejections discourage us, we can see them as signs that guide us to eliminate what doesn't fit and be more steadfast on the path we choose. So you can ask yourself, when faced with rejection, how do you choose to react? Can you use those rejections to motivate you to move forward? Sure, rejection is not pleasant, but if we know how to look at it, it will never be something that holds us back. Rejection will always be a part of life, but we can decide how it will shape us. Let rejection be a tool to help you become a better version of yourself. 2. Ignore them. In life, we will sometimes encounter people who are indifferent, uninterested, or even oblivious to our existence. In such times, instead of being influenced or trying to prove your worth to them, the best way is to rise above that indifference. Ignoring those who ignore you is not a petty act, but a powerful statement of your self-worth. Imagine a situation where someone decides that you are not worth their attention or time. That is their loss, not yours. When they reject you, you lose nothing, because you are still intact. In fact, by not playing their game, you are asserting to yourself, "I am worth more." This action is like turning a mirror on them. You do not need to speak up or confront them. Simply silently mirror their indifference and show them that you are not affected by their behavior. This does not mean that you become bitter or vengeful, but that you have chosen to live outside of their negative influence. To do this, you do not need to spend too much time thinking about people who are not worth it, but focus on your life, your goals, and your happiness. Immerse yourself in activities that bring you value, whether it is reading, participating in sports, learning a new skill, or simply enjoying precious moments with people who truly appreciate you. The so-called revenge here is not about hurting them. On the contrary, it is about taking back your energy and investing it in worthy places. Sometimes being ignored can hurt, but instead of letting that pain take over, let it be a catalyst for growth. Build an inner fortress so strong that their indifference is like a passing breeze, not disturbing your inner peace. The important thing here is that you don't just want to survive rejection. You want to thrive despite their ignoring you. You are building inner strength, and that shows maturity not only emotionally but also intellectually. As Marcus Aurelius once said, it is not what happens to us, but how we react to it that determines our worth. Remember that your worth is not diminished just because someone doesn't recognize it. Be true to yourself. Let your actions speak louder than their silence or indifference. You may not be able to change how they treat you, but you can absolutely change how you react to them. And in that reaction, you will find true power and freedom. 3. Calm is power. In life, rejection can stir up powerful emotions. It can be resentment, disappointment, or even feelings of being undervalued. However, calm is the most powerful weapon we can wield when faced with such moments. When you learn to stay grounded, you can not only view rejection objectively, but also move past it without letting your emotions dictate your actions. Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic philosopher, taught, "It's not what happens to us, but how we react to what happens." How we react to rejection determines whether it breaks us or helps us grow. Achieving calm doesn't mean suppressing your emotions. It means not letting them control you. When you are ignored, instead of letting disappointment or sadness take over, stop and ask yourself, why does this bother me so much? Often, it's not the rejection itself that hurts, but our own insecurities that make us feel hurt. This is where reality comes in. You are being ignored, but it's just a moment that doesn't define you. Stoicism teaches us that other people's actions don't define you. It's how you respond to them that determines your worth. If you want to reach out to someone, do it with sincerity and care, not to seek their validation. This approach is not passive, but proactive in taking ownership of your own emotions. Realizing that your worth doesn't depend on other people's approval will help you overcome these challenges with strength. When you learn to stay calm and not let your emotions get the best of you, you are not only coping with rejection, you are growing. In this way, you not only learn how to handle difficult situations, but you also learn that your inner peace is never dependent on external validation. This is the journey to self-confidence, where you learn to value yourself without needing approval from others. You may feel invincible one moment and then doubt yourself the next. That is part of the journey, and rejection is a valuable lesson. The emotions we perceive as negative are the fuel for our growth. That is how we cultivate resilience, learn to adapt, and find joy in unexpected places. Every rejection is an opportunity to reflect, to recognize areas for improvement, and to strive to become the best version of ourselves. It could be developing a new skill, improving your knowledge, or learning to adapt to difficult situations. Attractive people are not those who are perfect, but those who can handle indifference and not let it break them. When you stay calm in the face of rejection, you are not only surviving the situation, you are becoming a stronger person. You are turning rejection into a stepping stone to personal growth. That is the spirit of Stoicism. We cannot change what other people think or do, but we can change how we react to it. And in doing so, we grow into resilient individuals who can endure and bounce back. Remove rejection from your mind. Rejection, no matter how painful, is an inevitable part of life. But if we look at it in the right way, we can turn rejection into a turning point, not a failure. When faced with rejection, instead of letting it linger in our minds as an unhealed wound, we can turn it into an opportunity to discover ourselves and grow. To do this, you must focus on what you can do, what you can learn, and what you can change in this life. Rejection is not the end, but a detour sign that leads you to new paths and possibilities. This does not mean that you deny your feelings, but that you separate rejection from your being. Feel its impact, but do not let it control you. Imagine yourself as a skilled sailor, steady on rough seas. Waves don't capsize your boat, they help you move forward. Rejection, viewed from this perspective, becomes a guiding tool rather than a barrier. To turn rejection into motivation, you have to change your perspective. Instead of seeing it as a failure, see it as an opportunity to experiment, to develop new skills, or to reinvent yourself. You can take up a sport, test your limits, or engage in activities that enrich your spirit and expand your horizons. Reading a challenging book, learning a new skill, or even volunteering for a community project are all useful steps to not only distract you from sadness, but also to transform it into growth. Remember that every new experience, whether it is a success or a failure, is an integral part of the process of self-development. These experiences make you more resilient, adaptable, and most importantly, more grounded in life. Don't forget that you are not alone in this journey. Surround yourself with people who support and inspire you. Find people who share your passions and dreams and listen to their aspirations. These interactions not only create a thriving environment, but also help you cultivate a positive cycle. Rejection is not a reflection of your worth. It is simply an opportunity for you to rediscover and reinvent yourself. When you walk through rejection with equanimity, you will realize that those painful moments are not the end, but gentle nudges that will push you toward a new, broader path. Sure, rejection can send huge waves of emotions through you, but if you learn to navigate it, you will find that those waves are the very force that will propel you forward. And when you look back, you will realize that every rejection is actually an opportunity for you to grow into a better, stronger person. 5. Prove your self-worth. We don't need validation from others to affirm our worth. External praise may be a fleeting pleasure, but it cannot define who we truly are. Your true worth comes from what you achieve, from the achievements that are built with sweat, toil, and perseverance. When faced with rejection, however painful, don't let it break you. It is a test, a measure of your resilience. Instead of letting rejection crush you, see it as an opportunity to prove your resilience. When you walk into an important meeting and feel overlooked, or when you are passed over for a promotion, take a deep breath. Don't let the storm of self-pity or bitterness paralyze you. Channel that energy into purposeful, constructive action. In those moments, work harder on a project, demonstrate your skills more clearly, or even propose a new initiative. Your value does not diminish just because someone else doesn't notice it. It's an opportunity to shine brighter, to not be affected by someone else's lack of recognition. Your value is not something that can be measured by the attention or recognition of others. It comes from your own actions and efforts. When faced with challenging moments, remember the old saying, when one door closes, another opens. This is not just empty advice. It is an invitation to take action, to find a new path that aligns with your talents and passions. Rejection is not a reflection of your value, but a necessary redirection, leading you to opportunities you may not have considered before. If you get passed over for a role, it could be the universe pushing you to find a different path, one that will bring out the best in you. Either way, use this rejection as a catalyst, a motivation to look at your strengths and create a success story. Failures are just stepping stones to your success. This is not advice to plaster a fake smile on your face when you are disappointed. It doesn't mean suppressing your emotions. In fact, you need to embrace the full spectrum of emotions, from disappointment to sadness to anger, and then move forward with calm and confidence. Stoicism teaches us that the only things we can control are our own actions and reactions. When faced with rejection, don't be quick to blame or judge others. Instead, practice empathy, not only for others but also for yourself. Maybe your coworker has overlooked you, but they are probably dealing with their own insecurities and challenges. Expanding this understanding will not make you weak. On the contrary, it is a testament to your inner strength. Rejection is not the end, but a turning point for you to become a stronger version of yourself. From these experiences, you will learn to reflect, grow, and get up after each fall. And like the phoenix, you will rise from the ashes of rejection, wiser and more resilient. Remember, every rejection is an opportunity for you to grow. Don't let rejection push you away. Make it your ally, helping you stay on track on the path to success and personal growth. When you learn to deal with rejection and keep moving forward, you will realize that it is the way to become the best version of yourself. 6. The height of silence. Silence is not just the absence of sound, but a powerful tool in your emotional arsenal, especially when faced with rejection. In moments when we feel ignored or rejected, our instincts may be to react immediately, whether it's by texting, calling, or acting impulsively. However, it's in these moments that silence can be the most powerful response. Imagine you're in an awkward situation where you've been rejected or ignored. Instead of rushing to react or seeking acceptance, embracing silence is your way of regaining control. This isn't passivity or avoidance, but rather a strategic proactiveness where you choose not to allow yourself to be swept up in an emotional outburst. Not responding is a way to reestablish order in your mind, to help you remember that your worth does not depend on anyone else's approval. This silence is a self-respecting one. When you don't respond immediately, you are telling yourself that you are strong enough to not need to seek validation from others. This is a time to reflect, refocus on your goals, and recalibrate your life. You are not just stopping, you are regaining your inner clarity and strength. This silence is not cold or cruel. In fact, it is a boundary you set for yourself to protect your inner peace. It says that you respect yourself too much to beg or chase after others. It is a Stoic strategy, but it is also a powerful one. When you master silence, you not only demonstrate confidence, but also a strong sense of self-worth. In a world of instant feedback and expectations from others, your silence can make them reevaluate. You are no longer a pushover, no longer a victim of external validation. Your silence is not about making them regret or change their minds, but about showing them that you don't need their approval to feel your worth. And more importantly, this silence not only changes them, but it also changes you. You become stronger, more focused, and ready to face any upcoming challenges with calmness and steadfastness. In a world full of noise and chaos, silence is not just a reaction. It is a declaration of self-control and inner peace. See this silence as part of your journey where you don't let rejection defeat you, but instead use it to grow. This sense of peace, although not immediately visible, will be a solid foundation to help you face any subsequent difficulties with clarity and confidence. 7. Bury difficulty in joy. We all inevitably experience rejection in life, but one important thing that Stoicism teaches us is not to let that pain define us. Instead, find humor and passion in life. When you start paying attention to the things that make you truly happy, you will find that the sadness from rejection gradually becomes small and insignificant. The true essence of life is not in trying to protect ourselves from every failure, but in daring to step out of our comfort zones. Joy is not just a fleeting feeling, but a strategy for building resilience. Instead of letting rejection drag you into a downward spiral of sadness, choose to face it by actively seeking joy. This is not about ignoring your emotions, but about allowing your emotions to be released in a new way, one that strengthens your inner strength. We tend to retreat into bitterness when we are rejected, but in those moments, you can challenge your instincts by actively seeking new joys. This could be discovering a new hobby or simply returning to old passions that you have neglected. Each such action is a powerful statement that you are not letting rejection define you, but that you are taking control of your own story. Every laugh, every story shared is a reminder that you are not the sum of the failures or rejections you have encountered. You are part of a larger story where connection and shared resilience bring about the real magic. It is in these moments, as you step into the unknown, that rejection is not a closed door, but an opportunity to open new doors, leading you down paths you never thought possible. Try new things. Maybe it's a new dish you've never tried, a new neighborhood, or a seminar on a completely different topic. Every new experience is not just a distraction, but an opportunity to grow. These actions will make you more adaptable, more empathetic, and most importantly, stronger to face the challenges ahead. Remember, the goal is not to forget rejection, but to grow from it. Each time you face rejection, let it be a stepping stone to a richer, more vibrant life. Just as a seed needs time to germinate, you need time to turn rejection into an opportunity to grow, so that you can see life not only from the perspective of its difficulties, but also from the perspective of its joys and discoveries. 8. Act as if they don't exist. When faced with indifference or being ignored, perhaps the strongest response is not to get angry or seek revenge, but to respond with silence. This is not being mean or cold, but rather showing respect for your own inner peace. When someone chooses to ignore you, let them go. Don't waste your energy trying to get their attention or trying to start an unnecessary conversation. Instead, redirect your attention to people who value you, such as seeking a connection with someone you truly value in a social setting. A party, a meeting, where you can start a real conversation, a meaningful exchange. The important thing here is to realize that your worth is not determined by anyone else's validation. In the inevitable situations where you still have to interact with the person who ignored you, it is best to maintain professionalism. Keep conversations short, to the point, and avoid intruding too deeply into personal matters. This is not to show them that you do not care, but to show yourself respect by keeping the conversation businesslike. You do not create an opportunity for unnecessary scripting. This action is a statement. I am here for important things, not to play games that are not worth it. This approach helps you focus on what really matters, stay grounded, and not be swayed by the indifference of others. Their indifference cannot diminish your value. But if this attitude continues, the rejection is not a failure, but a strategic retreat. You realize that your energy is worth investing in relationships and goals that bring you happiness and growth. When you choose not to engage in these one-sided struggles, you are not simply getting over that person. You are moving toward better opportunities, healthier relationships, and a more peaceful state of mind. Responding to apathy is not a reflection of failure, but a powerful testament to your strength and self-esteem. You understand that life is not always about external validation, but rather the ability to maintain self-respect and inner peace despite the apathy or hardships around you. 9. Be kind, not perfect. The way you treat others is not only a reflection of your character, but also a measure of your spiritual maturity. Maintain kindness even when you face rejection. However, kindness is not a form of perfectionism, where you expect something in return, but rather keep yourself from falling into the trap of expectations. When we are ignored, our natural reaction is to feel hurt or disappointed. However, from a Stoic perspective, we should not react with emotional turmoil. This does not mean that you become cold, but that you choose to protect your inner peace. Rejection is not a wound that needs to be healed immediately, but an opportunity for you to practice resilience and calmness. Approach these situations with a strong heart. Give a gentle smile, say hello, or simply wish the person a good day. But when you do, remember that your kindness is a gift, not a transaction for which you expect something in return. Don't let your expectations dictate how you act. Maintaining emotional distance doesn't mean building invisible walls, but drawing clear boundaries. You can't control the actions of others, but you can absolutely control how you respond. This distance is not a sign of weakness, but a demonstration of inner strength and self-respect. You have the power to choose not to let the actions of others upset your peace. Practicing kindness with resilience and emotional self-control is the key to overcoming rejection in life. When you stay calm in these situations, you not only protect yourself, but also assert your personal power. This approach not only protects you, but also empowers you to be true to yourself. Life's rejection is not something to be dealt with bitterly or hurtfully. Take it as an opportunity to strengthen your maturity and inner peace. Only when you can stay calm and not let external factors affect your emotions will you truly be free in your soul. 10. Opportunity to renew your life. When one door closes, don't worry. Look for other doors that are opening. Life is full of challenges, and those challenges are opportunities to overcome the limits you once thought were impossible. Every difficulty is a hidden opportunity, helping you achieve more than you ever imagined, as long as you have the ability to see it differently. Stoicism teaches us that calmness is not pretending that everything is fine, but the ability to recover from each stumble. Calmness is a manifestation of inner stability, an affirmation that you are not affected by external influences. When life is difficult, continue to move forward with the same health and determination as before. This is not to please others or to prove anything to anyone, but to demonstrate your inner strength. This approach does not mean that you deny your emotions. Acknowledge them, but don't let them dictate your actions and decisions. Emotions, whether happy or sad, should not be the driver of your ship. You control your direction, not your emotions or circumstances. Use your reason and inner strength to steadily overcome the storms of life. Life will continue, and it is up to you to decide how you will face it. Live strong and steadfast, not only because of what you can achieve, but because you know that you can overcome anything. When you maintain your composure in all circumstances, you will not only survive, but also grow and move forward stronger than ever. Thank you for watching this video. Remember that life is full of challenges and rejections, but they are opportunities for us to practice calmness and inner strength. We cannot control what happens around us, but we always have control over how we react and feel. Face every challenge not with anxiety or anger, but with a strong mind and a strong heart. If you find these 10 lessons useful, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and share the video to help others find peace in life. Continue your journey with self-control and inner peace. Thank you, and see you in the next videos.